Smart, Mona King Fanja, Osari Maribo. What's a say to Joseph Woraboy? I remember 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 c'est pour je sais pas où la boule. Ta concept Randago. Mukuba. Bate. Mechi. Pita eno. Ancien driver. Wangweno. Murukwa. Aquaticaba. Eyom atem. Wangweno. Aquaticaba. Arremoni. Wangweno. Kamkan batam. Aquaticaba. Etigenen suwadi. Wangweno.
Oh,
sare mare bo bagabari bachasame kine bagabari bachasame kine bagabari otateba kuma kama kangba pukwa kangba puku otateba kuma kama kangba pukwa 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 otateba kuma kama se ku Joseph Worape akamonwe Tinanyame Emarwe Duakame Monyo Tinarame Emarwe Duakame Monyo Tinanyame Duakame Monyo Tinarame Seseku Abwai Wongano Tinanyame Oh Tinarame Tinanyame Akamonyo
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to ABS News Talk with yours truly, Chris Anu, as usual, coming to you from the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas. Precisely. Thank you for tuning in. I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining from Europe, from the USA, including Canada, South and North America, if you want to say, including Mexico, as they call it, and other South American countries. If you are also joining from the Middle East, it's a pleasure to have you. But for those of you in continental Africa joining by way of satellite, more precisely, where we call the Federal Republic of Amazonia, thank you for tuning in tonight. This promises to be very, very exciting. I bring to you a little word of what I will call a revelation of the intrigues of power currently going on in Yaoundé. And we are hearing, when I say we, I am referring to us here at ABS Africa TV. We are hearing of military maneuvers going on all over the place in Yaoundé. And there are actually talks of the military takeover in Cameroon, La République du Cameroon. Should the civilian population, should the civilian politicians fear the military? That is what we are hearing. I will bring you that report. But we will also be talking about the release or announced release of some 32 Amazonian refugees picked up from Nigeria about 6 years ago by La République du Cameroon government, and they're taken to the military tribunal in Yaoundé. Yesterday, we learned that the Yaoundé government, the appeal court, is setting them free for whatever reasons we do not know. We're going to find out what that is all about, what that is all about, and what it means in this Amazonia's fight for independence actualization. Please go ahead, hit your share button. If you are watching by way of the social media, that is Facebook and YouTube, let everybody out there know the anchor man is not live. He is indeed alive. I have been seen and heard. Unlike the leader in La République du Cameroon, nobody can hear him, nobody has seen him, and not even his ministers can confirm whether he's alive or not. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at ABS Africa.
All right, once more, thank you for tuning in to be part of this broadcast today, ladies and gentlemen. A lot is happening back in Cameroon. Not just in Cameroon, but of course also in Amazonia, where the people continue to fight for 8 years for their own free and independent country. Yesterday, the government in La République du Cameroon decided to announce the release of some 32 Amazonian captives abducted in Nigeria about 6 years ago and ferried to Yaoundé and put before the military tribunal. That is the subject I will be starting with today. I will come to you first with today with my talking point. But please do me the favor. Please, if you are watching by way of the social media, go ahead and hit that share button. Normally, people do not know when I am coming on live. But for those of you who know, please let others know out there that the anchor man is live. So hit your share button and let's have much more people gathered here, or many more people gathered here to to learn and to be educated, because unlike these other channels, we do not come here to call names or to gossip like what I have seen out there in some of these channels. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. We come here to educate you, to inform you, sometimes to entertain also. And so it is very important that as many people as possible are tuned in, watching, and listening. So tonight, I will be starting with this commentary, ladies and gentlemen, about the release of Amazonian detainees in La République du Cameroon. What is it all about? What is it all about? We don't know yet, but I believe by given a few days or weeks, we are going to know what it is all about, because many of you out there probably are thinking this is about the change of regime in Cameroon. I am not sure. I cannot say so. 30 southern Cameroonian refugees abducted from Nigeria's Taraba state are expected to be released on Monday. This coming Monday, October 21st. These individuals were among 37 Amazonians abducted by Nigerian security forces in connivance with Cameroon while they played football. They were later illegally, according to Abuja High Court, ferried to Cameroon, where they faced the military tribunal. Yesterday, in a significant development, the Yaoundé Court of Appeal ordered the release of the 30 detainees, while the remaining 7 saw their judgment postponed until November the 21st. Additionally, 2 other Amazonians abducted from the southern zone were sentenced to terms they had already served, and so will join the group of 30, bringing the total to 32 expected to be released on Monday. It is worth noting here that Bui County alone accounted for more than 24 of the 37 abductees from Nigeria. In a conversation with a source in Kondenge, it was confirmed that only 3 out of the 11 refugees from Calabar remain or will remain in custody. While the reasons behind this unexpected release remain unknown or unclear, many wonder if it signals a response to the looming regime changes in Yaoundé. There are still thousands of Amazonian detainees in prison centers all over La République du Cameroon. The Naira 10 and other prominent leaders such as Abdul Karim Ali remain behind bars. In the recent release, if the recent release is an act of benevolence, we hope that it extended to every southern Cameroonian in custody. That would have marked the beginning of goodwill, one that navigates towards a negotiated settlement that ends the 8 years conflict between Amazonia and La République du Cameroon, ladies and gentlemen. And that is that. I am being joined by Comrade Mark Barretta and Sama Thomas. Let me start here with Sama Thomas. Mark, if you can adjust your camera, please. Thank you. I will also be joined later by Maître Alex Ndiva Lisenga, joining from London. Comrade Sama, it's a pleasure once more to have you back on the News Talk, please. You all have heard about the this release of yesterday. What are you making of it, sir?
First of all, thank you for having me, Comrade Chris, and let me say hi to my fellow younger brother over there, Mark Barretta. Well, Comrade Chris, to begin with, they were not supposed to be there. Release or not release, We do not understand exactly what is going on in Yaoundé that they are being released. But there is one thing that has just come to my mind, that Yaoundé might be panicking of, because Yaoundé knows that if things fall apart, there can be what we call prison breaks. And if prisons are broken and inmates get into the city, the situation will not remain the same. So in anticipation of such a situation, Yaoundé is about to release. Maybe this is just a tip of the iceberg. Everybody will be, all Southern Cameroonians in that dungeon will be released for fear of the unknown if such a scenario happens to take place. So they want to send everybody back to where you are coming from, so that Yaoundé should be free of a backlash from prison breakages. That notwithstanding, like I've earlier said, to begin with, our people were not supposed to be in Yaoundé. So I do not understand why they are releasing them in bits. If that is the case, that they are afraid of the unknown, they should, as a matter of fact, release everybody. And releasing everybody, they will not release them to say, you just go. The very first thing is, they should release them with compensation for having detained them illegally. Not only detaining them illegally, but carrying them from their own ancestral hometown and ferried to an unknown destination where they were deprived of their family members to visit them and take care of them as prisoners are supposed to be taken care of by their family members. So they should be compensated, not only being released because they were not supposed to be there to begin with. So the release is not enough. They should tell us why they are releasing them to begin with, and how much compensation they'll be given to each and every person that was illegally detained in Larbopich dungeons.
You were absolutely right. They were not supposed to be there in the first place. And whatever is the motive behind this release, we do not yet know, though I have a clue, which probably in the coming weeks I will be talking about. Comrade Mag, if you can adjust your camera, centralize it and bend it down so that there's a good view of you. Centralize it, please. Centralize the image. Let me come to you, Mark, to get your take on this, about this release. I don't know what you have learned. Again, centralize your camera. About what you have learned, and if anything, what is your take on why they are having them out at this moment?
Comrade Chris, good evening, and also good evening to my senior brother, Comrade Sama. I hope that, I don't know if Comrade Device is already there. Comrade Chris, you know, I do not trust Cameroon until it happens on Monday. I'm not too sure how the news came out. I don't know if there is an official release from the Junta High Court asking for the release of those individuals. It may be that somebody is trying to do a spoiler factor, because they are aware that Amazonians, Cameroonians may come out to talk about this particular case, and then that would automatically, do a whole spoiler factor, and those people might not be released at all. So I'm looking at it from this angle until they are released. But again, come to think of it, Cameroon, they should have a reason. I think there is a peculiar reason why they are releasing the Taraba 37 per se, because I think if we include Nera detainees, these are the next high-profile Amazonian detainees in Cameroon prisons. But again, we are happy. It is good news. It is very good news for any Amazonians who have been kept in the jails. And in the Cameroon for months, for years. So we are very much happy. But we are dealing with a very diabolic regime. We should be able to decipher the reason, because the devil doesn't give anything for free. The devil gives with one hand and takes behind you with the two hands. So we have to be very, very, very. For now, I've not spoken to anyone. I have not spoken to my sources. I don't have any facts or any idea why that is happening. My first reaction was, oh, this is good news, But the Amazonian spirit and fighter in us, we have to tells us to ask why Cameroon is doing that. Is it because Biya is potentially dead in France or Geneva? Is it because Biya is incapacitated, he can't work? Is it because the military is planning to take over? I'm still to make those connections. I'm yet to come in terms with that, Chris.
Is it possible? I will ask this question to both you and Sama. Is it possible? Is it possible that this is happening as a sort of diversion for Cameroonians, La Republicans, to focus their attention on, to be diverted to a discussion on this release, that rather than on the whereabouts or the death of Paul Biya, as the speculations are?
It could be. It could be. I think that is a credible line we could look at. Their president has been out of Cameroon for 45 days now. Their media has been banned from talking about the health of their president, which is a counter to what is happening. We have seen regime apologies and barons out there saying that Biya is coming today, and it keeps being postponed. We saw Minister Eyisi, that's the name, called for a national prayers of what it was also cancelled and postponed. So it could be that they are trying to bring in a high-profile Amazonians to derail the talking points, to ensure that Cameroon press and Amazonian press are now talking about the prisoners that will be released, and then now they are going to be behind the scene now to plot the real takeover of the new president of Cameroon. Because I also do believe that Paul Biya is gone.
Before I get to Maitre Alex Lisonge to chip in on this before the next subject, let me bring back Sama in here, talking about a possible diversion on the subject of Biya's whereabouts. Could that be the reason why they are releasing these guys, so that the national discourse can center on the release of these Amazonian detainees?
If it was really a diversion, Comrade Chris, I think the release of a person like Marafa could have served a diversion than releasing the Taraba 30 or 37. If it was to be a diversion, they could have released a person like Siseko Ayoktabe and the Naira 10, not the 30 that they've released.
Well, I don't think. Don't you think that they can start with releasing high profile, what you really call high profile prisoners or detainees? Marafa is a very high profile detainee, and when you begin to take him out of prison, the question begins to come: could this be for a possible power change? Then you take out Sisiko out of jail. You begin to ask, so these are very high profile detainees. I really don't think they want to start from there, isn't it?
That is where the diversion could have been meaningful, Comrade Chris. If they were really about to divert public attention, they could have released but high profile detainees. But like Comrade Mark earlier said, La Republique is a state that likes or loves to pull pranks. Let us wait and see if it's not just a diversion for a few days to come. Monday is just three days to come. Let's wait and see if they will release them on Monday. For La Republique is full of Romo. Like they said, Siseko Ayoktabe was negotiating with them in Yaoundé at the bishop's house. Some few weeks after, they said they've never negotiated with Ayoktabe and the rest. You might be surprised to hear from the same sources in Yaoundé telling you tomorrow that they haven't decided to release, or they haven't released anybody from Kondengi, even if the courts ordered that they should be released. Let me tell you, in 2001, Bear Abednego ordered the release of Dr. Luma, Mfofo, and the rest that were arrested in October 1st, 2001. They didn't release them. The Permanent High Court again ordered for their release. Two consecutive times, they didn't release them. They released them at their own chosen time. So the courts in Yaoundé can see order for the release of these people, and the administrative bench will still sit on that release. So let us wait and see until when these people are out before we can even talk of this diversion. For the diversion, to me, for the moment, is meaningless. For the people released cannot cause that meaningful diversion in La Republic's politics as of the moment.
Let me turn it to Barrister Alex Lisenge joining from London to get his take on all of this. We'll wrap it up before I take it to the subject of the day. Comrade Alex, it's a pleasure having you back, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and my warm greetings to the panelists. And I heard what you've been talking about. I'm more concerned about the non-functional government. I should make it clear, when I was in the Cameroons, I met Mancho BBC, I met Ngali, Benji, Bangwa, I met Seseseko, Paatasan, I met them more than once. And to me, they are not supposed to be in the prison. They are not supposed to be in Kondenge. When you look at the laws of Cameroon, you read their Article 65, they ratified Universal Declaration of Human Rights. They say that they are part of what United Nations Charter, the right of self-defense. If you look at Article 65, the preamble is part and parcel of the Constitution of the Cameroon. So when people say self-determination, you say you enshrine United Nations Charter in your constitution. However, I'm not surprised with the government. I always call them do nothing and non-functional government because they don't know their own laws. In February 1990, Yondo Black, they wanted to create a political party. They were arrested. The government they don't know their own laws. So to me, the government of the Cameroon is a failed government. And to me, I don't like to dwell on conjecture. My problem is 99% of those who are in Kolengi, they are not supposed to be there. I've spoken with them. If you look, people like Issa Chiruma, Bello Buba, Chiruma spent 8 years for coup d'etat. So why should someone be exercising their constitutional right in the Cameroons and they are in prison? To me, it's about intimidation. It is the French culture. That is the difference with British Cameroon and La République du Cameroon. And if you ask me, I look at the laws, I read their laws. Do I want to be part of La République du Cameroon? I say no. And to me, I don't want to dwell on that speculation, but at the end of the day, I don't like their system, and people have the right to choose politically.
Well, I hear you. All of us have the same storyline with you. We know for sure that they are not supposed to be in detention under any circumstances because they are there through abduction. Through abduction. I will, and before I change topics, I want you guys watching to take note. Shall I be coming back on Monday or the moment these guys are released because I know how and why they are being released. I cannot divulge that information now. until they are out. I have some insider information as to how and why they are being released. Until then, before I will come back to you and release that piece of information, please stay put. When I come back, I bring to you my main talking point for the day. Don't touch your remote. Hit your share button if you are watching by way of the social media.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricatv@gmail.com.
All right, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. At this moment, I take you to my main talking point of the day, focus on the going-ons in Yaoundé, or call it Geneva or Paris. A lot going on there as far as Bia's disappearance is concerned. And I titled this monologue, Vacancy in Yaoundé, the quiet struggle for power in Cameroon. Quiet struggle for power in Cameroon. If anyone still hopes to catch a glimpse of President Paul Biya alive, they will have to wait for perhaps the next world, not this one. ABS sources have once again confirmed that the reissue preventing the authorities in Yaoundé from presenting Biya to the public is not merely his alleged incapacitation, but a more decisive reality. The number one position in Cameroon is now vacant, and it must be filled. In recent days, even pro-Cameroon government media outlets like France 24 have subtly confirmed that there is indeed a power vacuum in Yaoundé. Over a week ago, various ministers began issuing press statements claiming that President Paul Biya would return in a few days. Yet, as the days have turned into weeks, his presence grows more conspicuous. His absence grows more conspicuous. One of the last visible signs of Biya's return, in quote, came in the form of a high-power motorcade seen leaving the Yaoundé airport allegedly a day ago. But the sight of two ambulance vehicles within the convoy raised more questions than answers. The convoy followed reports that a Luxembourg ambulance flight from Geneva en route Yaoundé, supposedly carrying the ailing or diseased Biya, was sighted. Conflicting reports have since emerged, with some claiming that the plane was headed elsewhere, while others insist it landed at the VIP wing of Nsimalen Airport in Yaoundé. The speculation surrounding Biya's condition or Biya's whereabouts, dead or alive, only intensified with the motorcade's destination remain undisclosed, and Cameroonian authorities have offered no explanation. Not even the state-run CRTV has been permitted to broadcast any updates on Bia's status. What remains indisputable, though, is the fierce struggle now unfolding over who will fill the vacuum left in his absence. Sources within Cameroon's capital have disclosed to ABS that high-level meetings are taking place both day and night at the presidential palace in Etude. The days ahead are dark, and why I can't say for sure when or how things will play out. Something big is coming. End of quote. A source in Yaoundé told ABS today. Other reports from military personnel have also confirmed that they are receiving anonymous messages. Soldiers are receiving anonymous messages instructing them to mobilize their units and be ready to defend the colors. End of quote. One officer told ABST today, I quote, the military is preparing to intervene if the politicians try to interfere with the succession process. End of quote. Meanwhile, Bia's immediate family remains far from Cameroon, reportedly alternating between Paris and Geneva. Their frequent travels have only deepened the public suspicion that the true issue at hand is not the president's health, but the looming question of who will take the reins of the nation. Bia is not leaving behind just a fractured country. He is leaving behind a $1 million question of succession. According to the country's constitution, in the event of the president's death or incapacitation, the Senate President, Marcel Niad Njifenji, should step in as interim leader. However, in this case, Niad himself is reportedly too frail to assume power, leaving the country in an even deeper political crisis. The next in line, Abubakar Abdoulaye Ray, was recently summoned to France and Geneva, sparking rumors that he may be playing a role in discussions about the country's future leadership. It is no secret that France has played an influential role in Cameroon's politics for decades. And as Bia's reign comes to an end, French interests in the region have once again taken center stage. French officials have been heavily involved in discussions about Cameroon's future. And there is widespread speculation that they will attempt to handpick the next leader of Cameroon. This possibility has sparked outrage among Cameroon's political elite, some of them at least, and then opposition parties too, and even factions within Paul Bia's ruling CPD and party. Many Cameroonian citizens view France's involvement as a direct affront to Cameroon's sovereignty and fear that French interference will further exacerbate the country's political instability. Adding to the complexity of the situation is the unresolved conflict in the southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Several high-ranking officials in Yaoundé, they believe that the succession crisis should not be settled until the conflict in Ambazonia or with Ambazonia is resolved. They have argued that the interim leader must prioritize, note that interim leader must prioritize peace negotiations with Ambazonian leaders before organizing any elections that would install a permanent president. However, this view is not shared by everyone. France, with its deep-rooted interest in Cameroon, is unlikely to wait for such a resolution. French officials are keen on seeing a quick succession process to protect their economic and political investments in Cameroon. There are whispers that as soon as Bia's death is officially announced, the French will move swiftly to ensure that a successor sympathetic to their interests is installed without delay in Yaoundé. Behind the scenes, however, the struggle for power is intensifying. Cameroon's political landscape is fractured with multiple factions vying for control. On one side are those who believe that the constitutional process should be followed strictly, with an interim leader stepping in before elections are held. On the other side are those who seek to bypass the constitutional provisions entirely, hoping to install a new leader more quickly and without the uncertainty of a drawn-out electoral process. One thing is certain: the battle for succession will not be straightforward. The absence of a clear successor and the deep divisions within the country's political class mean that Cameroon is facing one of the most tumultuous moments in its modern history. The political vacuum left by Bia's disappearance has opened the door to fierce competition, both within Cameroon and abroad. Several military officers, speaking on condition of anonymity, have suggested that the army may be forced to step in if the political class escalates. The military is watching closely, one officer said. If the politicians can't get their act together, we may have to step in and restore order, end of quote. Whether this means a full-blown out military intervention or a more subtle role in the succession process remains to be seen. But the possibility of military involvement cannot be ruled out. For now, Cameroon waits. The streets of Yaoundé are filled with uncertainty and speculation as rumors of Bia's death continue to circulate. The government's refusal to provide any concrete information only adds to the growing sense of unease. But while the public remains in the dark, the real drama is playing out behind closed doors. Meetings are being held at all hours in Itudi, we are told, as Cameroon's political and military elites maneuver for power, sources told ABS. Will Cameroon's leaders rise to the occasion and guide their country through this crisis? Or will the political infighting and external interference push the nation deeper into chaos? For now, the only certainty is that Cameroon's future is anything but secure. As for Paul Biya, the former president, the man who ruled Cameroon for more than 4 decades, his final chapter seems to have already been written. The question now is not whether he will return, but rather who will take his place in the corridors of power in Yaoundé. And that is my talking point today, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, I think we have a problem I had a problem with my teleprompter, and also we have a problem with the satellite. I believe Ground Zero is shut down, but I guess we are trying to see what can be done to restore that. I hope that that can be restored for Ground Zero to be able to watch this. Okay, I think it is right back. Wonderful. Let me bring back my panel for tonight. Mola Lisenge, I will start with you. A lot of conspiracies and innuendos surrounding the absence of Mr. Paul Biya. I will take you to Yaoundé. We have been told, we have no way of confirming this. I want to be upfront with you. But we have been told this was Yaoundé. This was Yaoundé a day ago. Take a look at this. Oh no, I think this is the wrong image here. Okay, you take a look at this. Look at this image here. All right, I need to be very clear here that we have no way of ascertaining that this is actually Yaoundé, but we have been told that this motorcade left for Isimaland Airport. That was a day ago. This is, in Yaoundé, and was heading to wherever. Nobody could tell. Nobody knows the destination where this convoy ended at. But worth noting, ladies and gentlemen, worth noting in this convoy is that there are 2 ambulance vehicles. Now, you take a look at this next image. You see on your right, you will see 2 ambulance vehicles. One is like a Hilux truck, and the other one is a van. Again, the first one is looks like a Hilux truck, an ambulance truck, and the other one right behind it is a van. Now, we also learned that this plane that you see here left Geneva, and this is supposed to be an ambulance plane. It's supposed to have left Geneva, as you can see there, 12 p.m. Yaoundé, and then whatever. It's supposed to have left Geneva to Yaoundé, carrying somebody that nobody can tell who it was transporting to Yaoundé. I guess it is then that when he arrived in Yaoundé, when this plane arrived in Yaoundé, that this other incident that you see here took place. So the question is, who was the high-powered personality in this motorcade? And where did the motorcade end? We've tried to find out in Yaoundé whether this ended at the presidency in Etudi. Nobody can confirm it. We've asked people who was being transported. Nobody can confirm it. But again, what we can confirm and what we can see, ladies and gentlemen, you see the 2 ambulance. You see the 2 ambulance passing. If we can roll that image back, please. You will see the 2 ambulance flying past there amidst the convoy. So let's take a look again. Let's see if we can stop that image right where you have the ambulance place. We'll stop it there to see we can. Okay, look at that. Look at the truck, the ambulance truck, and the van directly behind it on the right hand side. Directly behind it on the right hand side, You see the van, the ambulance van and the truck. So who was this ambulance van and the truck carrying? And where were they coming from? We have no idea, but all we know is that this happened a day ago, and we are told that was Yaoundé. Let me bring in again Mola Lisinge to delve into these stories of succession in La République du Cameroon. This has nothing to do with Ambazonia. For we are looking forward to our own country and our own leadership, and not to a foreign leadership. Molali Senge, you go first, because I know you are a constitutional lawyer and you have been following all these talks about succession in La République du Cameroon. The next in line, Niet Njifanji, has become so old. He himself is said to be incapacitated and cannot take the reins of power in that country. And the other one, Abubakari Abdullahi, was actually flown to Geneva in Paris the other day to consult with the French leaders and, I guess, Paul Biya's team in Geneva. What are you thinking is going to happen? You know, there are also talks about Frank Biya taking over. There is a whole lot of turmoil going on within the ranks of power and the elite in Yaoundé. What are you thinking is going to happen?
Yeah, what I should say, taking into consideration the video that you've shown about ambulance and the airport, to the best of my knowledge, I should say definitely if an air ambulance can land in a 2D, so I wouldn't go that much on those speculations. If they wanted it was Mr. Bia, they don't need to go through that group. They could land an air ambulance inside to the Paris or Lyon. So that's my view about that. And again, when it comes to speculation about the vacancy, I should make it clear. I understand there is a constitution in the Cameroon, but I will tell you the truth. The truth is, we saw what happened in Chad. France is so ruthless. Macron left France and went to Chad. And the picture, we saw what happened there. And he installed the son of the former president. And what can the Chadians do? Nothing. So when you look at the Cameroons, I know we are different because we have British Cameroon. We are different. So the complication to me, the way I look at it, we are not just Chad, Togo, Gabon, there is British Cameroon there. And the change in Africa will happen in the Cameroon. Africa will change. That is the most difficult point in Africa. It's in that middle of Africa, Central Africa. So it is more difficult to do what they can do in Chad, Congo, Gabon, or what. Yes, they look at us, British Cameroonians, as if we are part of the Francophonie, but there is still more difficulties. They know there's going to be entropy. The truth I'll tell you when it comes to constitution, I've read the constitution article, is it 6, the subsection 4, the new they say new article, so it's new in the constitution. They say the vacancy can come as a result of what? Death. I'm assuming where I live in England, if officially the family, they haven't said somebody is dead, the person is not dead. Even if the person is dead until they announce it, so Mr. Bia is not dead. I look at it that way. That's how we look at it in England. Until they announce it. So they say resignation. Mr. Bia have not resigned. Then there is a tricky part. They say permanent incapacity. So the point is, how can you say permanent incapacity? That's the difficulty, because if you look at Britain and America, they have temporary incapacitated. You don't have that Cameroon constitution. So the constitution in the Cameroon is very watertight. They make sure they say permanent incapacity. So if it's temporary, it means Mr. Bia can still be in an oxygen tank, but he can still rule the country. They say permanent. They don't say temporary. In America, you had Ronald Reagan was informally incapacitated in 1985. Then you have in 2002 to 2007, George W. Bush was formally incapacitated because of medical reasons. You can do that temporarily. Then you have again in 2001, George Biden was temporarily incapacitated. In Cameroon, the constitution doesn't say temporary, they say you must be permanent. So the president can be ruling you inside a is it oxygen tank. So that's again, the constitution in Cameroon was drafted maybe by single-handedly. In most other countries, America, France, other things, you had a constituent assembly. So I often say the constitution of the Cameroon is a window dressing exercise. They say what? But to be permanently incapacitated means you're injured or you cannot do the job that you're doing. And you look at permanently incapacitated means at least just the language is not defined in the constitution of the Cameroon. 80% permanently impaired or 75% permanently neurologically impaired. That's what it means. But there's no definition. And to be honest to you, these people like Mr. Nya, Mr. Is it the Kabal, all of them, they are above 84 years. They just put them there in a position. They don't put them to replace Mr. Bia. That's why what happened in Chad when the president of Senate, who was supposed to take over from Idris Deby, when they asked him to take over, he refused. Why should you refuse? Mr. Nyat, I know he's old, but Mr. Nyat knows that he was just put there for regional or whatsoever reason. So he's saying that he too is not feeling well. It's a game. Because if Mr. Bia wanted somebody to take over, he would have put somebody who is young and strong. So all these things are just game. They know their role, all those people. They know they are not going to take over. But however, I strongly believe African constitution, you can always change it whenever you want. There's always a constitutional coup. We saw what Mr. Aido did in 1972. We saw what Mr. Bia did in changing the terms of limit of to be in power. So all those things, they manipulate it. I don't believe in African constitution to me personally. I believe in constitution in the Western world. America, George Washington, they made a constitution which is a strong foundation, it's still working. And in UK, I gave some example in America. In the UK, in 2020, Boris Johnson was temporarily incapacitated medically. He went to the hospital, so he handed over to somebody else. So that's the difference. But Mr. Bia has never been sick in his life. When I say I don't know if you know, you should tell me. They have never announced ever since I was born. I've never heard Mr. Bia have been sick. And we see images, Mr. Bia is walking. He's an old man. I'm not laughing at him. I'm sure most of us will be happy to live his age. But you know, Mr. Bia was in America. You saw what he was talking. Where am I? He doesn't even know where he is. These people cannot be treating us like as if we are kids. It's time, and now they should know that it is over, and people cannot hijack a country and run it like a personal property. It is over. And you're talking about military.
But they've always run it as personal property. But let me add this other question. Let me add this other question. You talk about the possibility of no change happening in La République du Cameroon. Don't you think that people may be inspired, like what happened in Senegal, what happened in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Guinea, to stand up? This is another French country. Don't forget that.
I'm telling you, Mr. Chris, we are doing what the members of parliament should be doing. We are doing what the senators should be doing in the Cameroon. We are doing what the people, the constitution of the Cameroon say. Sovereignty belongs to the people. You call people in Cameroon. You tell them that electricity is not there. Why can't you protest? Oh, they will kill me. So I don't understand. There is that. I don't know why the people, they don't know their own rights. Because even in the laws of Cameroon, you can go and have a peaceful protest. I'm saying, if they love Mr. Bia, why can the supporters of Mr. Bia not go to the street and march peacefully that we want to see our president? I have never seen what is happening in the Cameroons today in my lifetime. This is the first time I'm witnessing something that the president have disappeared. Again, assuming That Benjamin Netanyahu, the Ukraine president, went to Swiss and nobody knows where he is. The British, they will be talking. The Americans, they will be talking. Europeans, they will be talking. These people, the West, they are part of the problem. They know what is happening in the Cameroons, but they despise us Africans. And when I look at the West, what I could see, people who promoted apartheid, people who colonized us, which was crime against humanity, people who enslave us. So to me, when I understand how the West operate, they operate with their own interests and they look at their business interests. And to us, Africans, we are just a fly upon a pile of shit.
Comrade Sama, if I may come to you, you look at the image that you see on your screen. That is
Lamido of
Abubakari,
Rebua.
Abubakari Abdullah Ray, who is said to be the third in line, no, the second in line to Niat Njifenji, who's supposed to be taking power. Now, I understand he is only 63 years old, quite young enough to perform the rule of Niat Njifenji. Again, he was recently invited to Geneva and Paris. I don't know what for, but do you see him taking over the rule of a transition in Cameroon?
To speak fuller, or this a guy, the Lamido of Rebuba, that was running up behind his cows. He has never been to primary school. Why was he taken to Geneva to go and discuss what? Oh, there was a translator. Please, respect yourself. I don't know if there was a translator that was translating from Fuller to French or English or whatsoever. But that notwithstanding, if at all he ever went to school, is he going to leave Rebuba to become the president of La Republic of Cameroon? Does he even have the balls to challenge the Singan society in Yaoundé to become the president of La Republic of Cameroon for 2 months before organizing elections? I don't think Lamido of Rebuba is ready for the job. He was put there as a window blind to satisfy the North that they have somebody in La Republic that is in a position of power, of which there is no power there. That notwithstanding, I heard my brother.
Hold on there. Hold on there, Sama. Hold on there. I get your point, but you know that in Cameroon right now, you have the divisions between the Bassas and the Bamilekis on one block, the Ewondos Beti Bulus one block, the Nordis another block. Don't you think that strategically thinking, giving the interim presidency to Abubakari Abdullahi could satisfy the Nordis who feel like this is supposed to be our turn now? Don't you think so? And I would like Mola to think about that too, because I think every angle of the politics in that country is being looked at now to satisfy every party. Yes, Sama.
That's an open declaration of war, because the Fang people, or the Betis, what we call the former Center South, they are afraid of a Nordist becoming the president of La Republic for what happened to the Nordist in 1984, in what the term the coup d'etat that took place in La Republic during that period. They are afraid that if a Northerner takes over power, what they did to the Nordis will be revenge on them. So for them to hand over power to a Northerner is like committing suicide. If that happens, there will be a military squabble or a military struggle in La Republic between the Northeast, and the people of Yaoundé. The only people that these guys can settle to or with are the Bassas or the Bamilekis. But still, they are afraid of the Bamilekis. So the only people that they can go settle with are the Bassas. Going forward to say something again, we should know the interest of France. Comrade Chris, you are aware that the French ambassador to La Republic of Cameroon is a military general. It wasn't a mistake to appoint a military general as their ambassador. And the constitution, their constitution says, if there is a vacancy in La Republic of Cameroon, or if there is a problem that concerns power tussle in La Republic of Cameroon, the French embassy can intervene. I still hold that the
To
French
what
will
extent,
install
though,
their
when
hand.
you have, I mean, why didn't they intervene in Mali? Why didn't they intervene in, I mean, you know the amount of troops they had in Mali, in Guinea, in Burkina Faso. They didn't intervene there. Why would they intervene in Cameroon?
Well, the people of Mali, maybe they don't have territory export, they don't have balls to challenge the French hegemony. We shouldn't forget that the people of Senegal, during the days of Leopold Sédar Senghor, have been brought up with another mentality to make to believe in themselves that they are Senegalese and not little French people. That is why they challenged Abdoulaye Wade, they challenged the other guy who came after him, and now they just the president who left power before the new guy who came in. So Senegal has been that country that challenged autocracy from time immemorial. If you are an autocrat, when your day comes to say you will go, you will go. But La Republic of Cameroon is not that type of country like Burkina, like Senegal, like Mali or Niger. They are export drinking people that once you show them export, they will say no, le chef est bien. They will take their export and drink and go back home. Things return to normalcy. So from beer, the French will still install from beer and nothing will happen in that shithole of the country. The only people in that triangle that have balls to challenge the system are the people of the Southern Cameroons, and that is what we are fighting to leave them, for they are cowards. We cannot continue to live with cowards who cannot stand up for anything.
Mullah, let me get back to you. You heard in my monologue saying we have sources who told us that there are military movements right now, and I got that information while I was preparing this show. A soldier, a Cameroon soldier, texted one of the colleagues and said they should start mobilizing their units. And quote, if the civilian politicians mess up with succession, they are ready to defend the colors. That was the statement sent to me from one military personnel in the La Republic. And he also added that they are receiving coded messages from unknown sources. Of course, coming from military sources without names, real numbers, sending them messages to get ready. Do you see a possible military takeover in Yaoundé?
You know something, Chris? We had the military since 1961 because you see, they try people in the military tribunal. That's a military country. Because
Right.
you see, I'll give you an example. You see, like in Nigeria, you see Buhari was a military, he changed uniform and come there. I don't distinguish those things. It's the action. What looks like a deck, quacks like a deck, walks like a deck, is a deck. We have been under military regime since Aijo and Obia, because at the end of the day, I'll ask you, if I might, do you think there's any military person that can take over? When I mean, if a military person takes over, it's a coup d'etat. The same Paul Biya's people will take over because Paul Biya have
Yeah.
made sure the military people are his people. So who is going to take over? If there's a military coup, it's still Paul Biya taking over from him. That's my view. I don't see any military coup. Paul Biya had enough time for 1 year to make sure the people are there. There is a good, it's not quartier general. There's a new quarters in Yaoundé. Is this military people? And military people, they don't go on retirement. The government of Mr. Biya look after them until they are dead. So they live. I used to have when I was in primary school, Commander Mambo, he became a general of late. He's somebody that I knew when I was a child in primary school. So I understand how those things they work. When I went to his office sometime, I asked him when he was a general. He said, "Oh, the president looks after them very well. They don't retire general." So at the end of the day, if there is a coup d'etat, to me, if they don't follow their constitution, there is a coup d'etat. Know that is their who are taking over. All the people who are in the military, the ENAM, I've seen a lot of things. The people who goes to ENAM for every time, well, EMIA rather, they are from the same tribe as Mr. Bia. So the coup will not make any difference. It will be continuity. And I don't believe in those things. So,
Don't you
and
think the
we
coup
talk
could
about
take place just to get the right person, the right,
you talk about something.
Bulus, Betis, and so on? They could
Yeah, you
stage a
talk
coup
about
just
that.
to make sure that they turn it back into the hands of the Bulus.
You talk about something which you say, okay, we are divided. There's the Northeast, there's Basa, there's
Yes.
Betty. My point is, sometimes, like in the United Kingdom when I live, England, English is a tribe, Scottish is a tribe, Irish is a tribe, Welsh is a tribe, but they have surpassed that situation that they don't talk about. Let it go to North, or let it go to Basa, or let it go to this. Because why? They have an English culture as I speak, which is democracy, the rule of law, respect of tolerance, individual liberty. That's what all these tribes they believe in. But we are in a stage, or because we are still run by France. France is manufacturing and money. France is responsible for our economic and socio-cultural orientation. France is responsible to protect the president military. France should be the first person to take the raw material of Cameroon. Until we keep this and have an identity, whether it's Africans from the two countries that came together, all these things about whether it's Northeast or what, how does it help the people? But if we have, it tells you we don't have a culture. There's nothing Cameroonian about us. There's nothing Cameroonian. If there was something Cameroonian, all of us will be talking about it. But people, when you start looking at, oh, it should be Northeast, it should be Betty, it should be Basta, it's about eating. The people in Cameroon, it's a culture, it's a fake Creole of Cameroon, a fake country that was created. It's not only Cameroon. In Nigeria, my friends, they are feeling the same thing too because these are fake countries. And if we are sincere as Africans, we should come together and know that we have different culture, different ethnicity, and look for a way forward. Unfortunately, the slave masters are still fooling the street.
Well, let's. We're looking at all possible angles here as per what may happen when they officially announce the death of Paul Biya. Let me get back to Sama and get your take on this aspect as far as Ambazonia is concerned. They have talked about making an Ambazonian. I mean, those are some of the discussions going on, talking about the possibility of making an Anglophone, the way they call it, the next president of Cameroon, just to cool down and bring some tranquility and stability into the country. We've heard the names of Dion Ngute voice, that of Philemon Yang voice. Before I get to Sama with the same question, Mola, what do you think about that? What does that do to Southern Cameroonians? Does it cause any change?
You're right. My point is, if it's Diongute who was my lecturer when I was in Guakele, is Diongute a manifesto? If it's Young Philemon, they have been there. Young Philemon have been a minister since 1975. He has been a minister. So I don't care. I prefer to even see a Betty man come and say that I will treat the two countries as equal. I'm not interested who is there. If you come, you're in Northeast, You come and say you recognize that two countries came together, I will respect you. So to me, it's not who is the president, it's to recognize the fact that there was no reunification, two countries came together. And if you want to be together, we'll live like as Scotland is Scotland, have their money, have their football team. We can live like that if the people want to. And if we don't want to, we have the right. We join them through a plebiscite, and we have a right to be given another plebiscite after how many years? Why is it that somebody marries it through a means, then the person cannot leave? So at the end of the day,
Remember,
the
remember,
law
you,
they
you remember you can't leave because it was for better and for worse.
no. Listen, Mr. Chris, I will tell you this. Listen, Mr. Chris, there was nothing that, do you want to join them? Yes, we joined them. There was nothing to say you will never leave. Scotland signed the Act of Union 300 years ago with Britain.
How
And they said they
about
wanted to use after 300
how
years.
about you
They
can
gave
never change this constitution and they change it? I mean, it's only
yes,
backing
they
your
changed
point.
the problem is Scotland 300 years ago, Scotland signed Act of Union with England. They said they don't want to stay here. They gave them a referendum. Is it 2014? Is it 10 years ago now? They gave them, and they vote. 45% say they want to leave, and 55% say they want to stay with UK. So at the end of the day, the way you join the people, they can still give you the same means. Do we still like the relationship? That's renewing the vow of the marriage. At the end of the day, it's business people who are behind it. They love the territory, they don't love the people.
Comrade Summer, what do you think about an Anglophone president of La République du Cameroon?
That's a
I
wishful
mean, I've
thinking.
also heard the name of Akere Mona put out there as a uniting candidate for their opposition.
Yes, that's a wishful thinking, because there's an accord signed between La Republic Cameroon and France that no Southern Cameroonian will ever be the president of La Republic Cameroon till after 100 years. We are just at at 60 years after La Republic's independence. So how can a Southern Cameroonian become the president of La Republic Cameroon, of which France is holding that piece of shit that they signed with La Republic Cameroon? If had been that piece of shit wasn't existing, then they could have handed over power to Frunzi. But I've earlier said, if you give power to my father in La Republic Cameroon to be the president of La Republic Cameroon, I will still fight against him. For it is not who that sits in that shit of a place called presidency, but what is the policy of that place called presidency that affects the people of the Southern Cameroons? That's a bone of contention here. So bring John Butte, bring whosoever to put him there, the system will not change. So we are going to fight till we achieve what we want. This, no matter who sits in La Republique of Cameroon as their president. Let me also clear the air about the ambulance issue in Yaoundé. The pictures which you just heard were taken 13 years ago. For that is the central post office in Yaoundé, and that place has been renovated. The pictures of that place are the pictures of the old post central in Yaoundé. It's not the post central of today in Yaoundé. So those pictures are fake that La Republique is passing them on to deceive the population. Mr. Bia haven't returned to La Republique to Cameroon, so we should just discard that ambulance issue.
And thank you for that. That's why I've made it very clear we cannot confirm them with who were looking at all the angles in the story. And the pictures, they actually look old. The video actually looks old. It doesn't look like a video taken a day ago. And of course, CRTV has also been very silent over all this. If it was indeed beer, CRTV would be talking about it, except Atanganji doesn't want them to talk about it because they will use all the powers of the state to take care of whoever talks about it. But comrade, please, you guys stay put in there. Let me take a short break out, come back and open the phone lines, please. Ladies and gentlemen, stay put out there. We'll be right back.
ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Take your business to the next level. Contact our advertising team at absafricativ@gmail.com. ABS can help you reach your target audience like never before. Advertising on ABS, you'll benefit from our extensive reach and dedicated viewership. We offer special advertising packages during primetime slots and popular shows. You'll also be featured on our social media platforms, reaching an even wider audience. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
All right, thank you for staying put out there, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to make a remark here. A few days ago, a video clip featuring Larry, a young H.O., whose face you'll find on the screen, was forwarded to me of Larry making some allegations of yours truly and some other Ambazonian leaders accusing us of collecting bribes from La République du Cameroon. Mr. Larry did not mention when this bribe was taken, did not mention where it was taken or collected. He mentioned a certain lady whom I don't know, never talked to, never met, and so on and so forth. Again, I have put out a public challenge. Some of you have probably read that. I put out a public challenge to Mr. Larry, who since walked away from Ambazonia's struggle because he wouldn't work for free for Ambazonia. Larry was the first Secretary of Communications for the interim government under Siseko Ayoktabe Julius. Larry did not last for 2 weeks. The reason being that he demanded a pay while all of us were serving sacrificially. He demanded to be paid $2,500 every month with a computer and an office space. And when he was denied that payment, 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, he walked away from the struggle only to resurface last week on this other TV channel with a piece of blackmail and defamation to yours truly. Again, I have put out a challenge to Larry Ayong. The years that you thought that many people believe in you, I don't really understand how you thought people believe in you when they know you as one of those drummers, drum beats in CRTV for the regime in Yaoundé. You could churn out lies and to Cameroonians. But again, I have put out a challenge to Larry Ayong H.O. And I have stated clearly, Larry, please, I'm begging you, It is Chris Anu that will be embarrassed, not you who has the information. But Chris Anu is the one that will be embarrassed. But here is Chris Anu challenging you. Some people have said, I should take you to court so that you prove your evidence. I mean, quite a lot of people. Somebody wrote to me and said, Comrade Chris, if you don't take this guy to court, I will withdraw my amber deals. I have that note. Somebody wrote to me. Comrade Chris, if you don't take this guy to court to challenge him to bring the evidence, I will withdraw my amber deals. That's what somebody wrote to me, and I just laughed. And I said, how do you take somebody to court who will, at the end of the day, be levied whatever the court charges, and then he will declare bankruptcy because he has no dime. He has no dime to pay a court charge. So it is useless even thinking of taking him to court, because in America you come out and you declare bankruptcy, and I know Larry will be very ready to do that because he knows how to walk through the system, For a man who cannot even afford a car, you want to sue him, and then the court says pay $10,000 for defamation or for libel. He just go and file bankruptcy and walk away a free man. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. It's a waste of time. But I am challenging him. Why he remains out a free man without any court case? I have challenged Larry to please embarrass me, put the evidence out on the social media. Thank God you don't have to pay a dime to have that information on the social media. All you need to do is go on your Facebook page or your Twitter page, upload the evidence. And so we can know that you are not just out there with an empty, loud-sounding gong. So that is my challenge to Larry, and I'm appealing to every one of you listening to the sound of my voice and watching me. If you want to see some sanity, not when people like this who have walked away from the fight for Ambazonia suddenly show up and begin to try to blackmail people. So I'm asking every one of you with a hashtag, Chris Anu wants Larry to publish the evidence. Chris Anu wants Larry to populate the evidence, and when he fails to do that, we would have known exactly that Larry is a hungry man. The reason why he went on that other channel trying to get the egg of sea people, possibly to put some money in his pocket, so that he may be able to get an Uber for the next day. That's my thinking. But that's a challenge. I am now going to open the phone lines. I'm going to open the phone lines for you because we don't have a lot of time left. Before you call, make sure that you shut down the volume of your set. Shut down the volume of your set before you call. And when you call, you have only 1 minute. 1 minute to make your point so that I can take as many calls as possible. The phone line is there on your screen. You go ahead, make your call. When you call, make sure that the volume of your television set is shut down before you call. Again, the line is open. The line is open, please. All right. I get the first caller coming in here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Chris.
Good evening, sir. May I know where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Richmond, Virginia.
Virginia, all right. Good to hear your voice, sir. What is on your mind?
Yeah. This last topic that you just talked about, Mr. Larry.
Yes.
He said that money was given to you guys at kitchen near you. Can you remember ever being at kitchen near you for such a deal?
A kitchen near me, is that a name of something, or you mean, what is it? What is that?
It's like a restaurant in Maryland.
Look, sir.
That's where you said it.
Look, sir, he is dreaming. I don't even know what a kitchen near you is. I have never seen one.
Okay, thank you. That was just my question.
Well, that is not it. Okay, let's assume. Let me be the conspirator here. Let's assume you saw me there. That is better. That is not any good. Like putting the evidence on the social media. It doesn't cost him anything to put it there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe even a photo of me in the kitchen near you can put it there too. All right. Thank you for the call.
Okay, thank you too. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, the phone line is open. Please go ahead and make your call. I see somebody writing here, Metro Nicoms. Respectfully, comrade, always make sure you differentiate both in writing and spoken difference between Cameroon and Cameroons. All right, I hear you, sir. Cameroon, you refer to La République du Cameroon. Cameroons refer to, I guess, the two Cameroons. All right.
No.
Hello.
No, excuse the Comrade Chris.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. May you shut down the volume of your set in the background and concentrate on your phone, please?
Hello, pardon, sir?
Shut down the volume of your TV in the background and focus on your phone.
Okay, I have shut it down. Thank you very much.
Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Sokoto. I'm Salisu Makoba calling from Sokoto, sir.
Sokoto State in Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for calling. What is on your mind?
I have a lot concerning this issue of Amazonia. It has been long and the time has come, is going, and without putting a strategic measures that will bring an end to the menace. So this issue, I look at it as is something that people has to look at it in a holistic manner to put things in the right direction. That's my contribution, sir.
When you talk about a holistic manner, what are you actually referring to?
The holistic manner in the case of Amazonia and the real Cameroonian and the issue of taking over the military administration from the civilian government.
Are you Ambazonian or Nigerian?
I'm not Ambazonian, I'm Nigerian. I'm only making an observation and suggestion, being me a member of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and the AU as a whole.
Right.
So whatever affects Cameroon, as a Nigerian, it affects me.
Right. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. I hear you. I hope that the powers that be listen to people like you and do the right thing. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much. My pleasure. I'm very grateful.
Thank you. All right. The line remains open. The line remains open. Comrade Sama, I heard you. I saw you smiling or laughing tremendously on the question of Larry Eyong Echo. You want to add something there?
Yeah, before I go to Larry.
Hold on your thought, Sama. Let me take this call and get back to you, please.
Okay.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Douala, Cameroon.
Wonderful. What is on your mind?
Yeah, I wish to talk about Mr. Larry Eyoncho accusations against you.
All right.
Yes. If you remember, I sent a message to you saying that these are distractors. They should go and look for reasons why Ayabacho has been arrested elsewhere. They should not distract us They should not distract you. We are seeing you, we are hearing you, we are feeling you in every way. So we don't have time for people like these ones. We don't have money. We should not be spending time and money and energy on something that is irrelevant. Somebody who is not, we have never heard him anywhere. We have never seen him. So this type of people are just out to distract. Maybe he has taken money somewhere to come.
No, he needs money. He needs money. He needs Uber money from Egg of Sea. That is why he was so inclined to telling people that no, Ayaba didn't take any bribe. You know how they frame the question to expect the right answers, right? They asked him, "Do you think Ayaba took bribe from that?" No, no. So, but go on, please. Go on. Round it up.
Yeah. So let them. I mean, we should concentrate and do what we are supposed to do.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we are. That's what we are focused on, doing what we have to do. You know, wasting time going to court with somebody who will not who can pay you a dime. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
You are live, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm calling you because they say I don't.
All right. Let's get to the meeting. I heard that was an off call. Hello. 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 When you call, please, again, before you call, shut down the volume of your TV. You can't be listening to the TV and trying to talk to me at the same time because there will be a delay. All right? Okay. Sama, go on, please. Go on. Go on with Larry Ayong Echo.
Before I step to Larry Ayong, the S behind the Camerons is particularly to the Southern Camerons. It's not the Southern Camerons and Larabru Cameroon. The Southern Cameroon because of the British Northern Camerons and the Southern Camerons. Larabru Cameroon is Larabru Cameroon and the Southern Camerons. So if there is an S, that is referred to the Southern Camerons alone and not the Camerons as being put forward by Comrade Lisinge. Anything that could have meant the Southern Cameroon and Larabru Cameroon could have been the United Federal Republic of Cameroon. Then it could have been spelling the two countries. Let me go now to Larry Ayong Echo. Larry Ayong Echo, the question I will ask Larry is, where is Teodoro Ngumba? Larry Ayong should go and find where Teodoro Ngumba is today with Prince Rene before he now pull up his plans. He embezzled SCNC monies in America because he was at the moment the interim chairperson of the SCNC in the early 2000s in America. All the money that came to the SCNC, Larry embezzled all that money. Larry has never talked of that money, but he got the guts to accuse people of receiving bribe, which is good for me to take from La Republique to Cameroon and put into the struggle, or to embezzle that which comes in for the struggle. For the struggle, Larry should ask himself again. Prince Rene should make himself relevant and not make himself irrelevant by pulling those expensive pranks with people like Larry Ayong Echo. Larry Ayong Echo refused to serve this struggle because he wants to be paid. We refuse to pay him, and all he thinks he can do is to carry out a smear campaign against Southern Cameroonians who are putting in their utmost to see that this struggle moves forward. For the past since 2017 till today, where has Larry Ayong been, and how much in terms of financial contribution has Larry Ayong Echo put in this struggle? up to this moment that we are talking. All he knows is to go about investigating how people have been bribed by who. Was he there and how much? Or was he the one who took the bribe to pass it on to Chris Ano? If at all that was what happened, how much was his own share in that bribe? I always ask people that I always tell people that bribe is a top secret that only transfer between two persons. Any third party that knows of that bribe, therefore means you was the intermediary, and as an intermediary, your own share was there. Larry should come out to tell us how much was his own share before accusing Chris Ano of having been bribed.
He probably was at the kitchen near you when the money was taken. I'm waiting to see a picture of that kitchen. All right, let's get back to the phones. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Comrade Chris, good afternoon, and good afternoon to all the panelists. I listened keenly to everything that they have said, and I just want to advise or say something about Larry A. Young. He is a good Ambazonian, as he claimed. He should have, if he was an Ambazonian, he should have come out earlier to announce that Ambazonians have sold the revolution, not to wait at this moment when the king of their cabal has been arrested in Norway, and he's coming out to say things that do not make any sense. You cannot see a crime and you don't say anything until another criminal has been caught. Then you come out and say, oh, this person stole at this time. Why did you not say anything? You care much about Amazonia.
That's a very salient. That's a very salient point, because can you imagine if we took that money and saw the struggle and it was said and done, what would Larry be saying? What was he waiting for up to now if we had sold it and eaten the money and gotten rich?
Yes. So the second thing I'm going to say is I know, and I can also confirm, I can also say that we have seen the end, the last game of the BR regime. But because of the chickenness of the population of that country, there might not be any drastic change. And I wish the military can get some balls and take over that country and set some examples of what is supposed to be a democratic nation to those old people out there. If I was in the French political territory, I would be advising my leaders to watch what happened in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, and not try to repeat that in Amazonia, because Amazonia or in Cameroon, because people are more intelligent now. It's not in those days where they will impose a leader and the people stay quiet. Cameroon is not a one tribe country or a one region. There are so many different tribes, and these tribes, they have different ideology and different aspirations for that country. So France is going to make a mistake if they are going to lose another partner in Africa if they try to impose any other leader in Cameroon without following the constitution. So this is a moment of transition in Cameroon. They can play as many games as they can. Somebody even said that the Bia's birthday or his ascension to power is coming up in a few weeks on the 6th. I think the 6th of,
6th of November.
They always celebrate that. We want to see him come out and celebrate that day. If we do not see him, those old people in Yaoundé will pay the price for deceiving Cameroonians and for creating the chaos that has brought down the economy of that country. They do not understand what stability means for a country when the leader is uncertain. The leadership is uncertain. Thank you, Comrade Chris.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. All right. Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello.
Can you shut down the volume of your TV and focus on your phone, please?
Okay, I'm focusing on the phone.
All right. Where are you calling from, please?
From Norway.
Norway. Okay. What is on your mind, sir?
Thank you very much. I just want to extend my Congratulations to you and the panelists. My concern is exactly what is happening in La Republique.
Okay.
And one thing for sure we have to understand, we have been with these people since 1961. And Cameroon is not, La Republique is not a country that you can reckon with. There is none of their decision that they have ever taken and stood on it. And concerning the vacancy, we just have to understand that beer is no more. But the unfortunate situation for us Ambazonians is because of our division. We have been talking on this issue. For us to come together, this should have been the tangible moment. We are not prepared. And this moment has come. If we are not careful, that same military, La Republique, will fight their fight, and when they get finished, that is when they have resolved their fight, they will come and meet Ambazonia in our scattered and shattered as we are shattered today. So this is just my advice to the leadership. Right. We have one obstacle now which is drawing us behind. I want to send this message. Then world is listening, Ambazonians are listening. I want to send this message to Comrade Sako. Comrade Sako, if you don't want Kama to meet you, because you are the person dragging Ambazonians behind. If you don't want to come for this unity platform that we are seeking for, we have to collaborate to speak in one voice. I am sure what has happened to the other leaders, what has happened to Bia, you might be the next person.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the call. All right. This is the last caller. The last call I am taking for the day. Hello.
Hello, and good day, Comrade Chris.
Good day, sir. This is Metro Nicom, right? Yeah, all right. One minute, sir.
Actually, yeah.
1 minute, and, yes. Go on.
Yeah, greetings equally to your panelists from Mr. Sama Thomas, Metal Lisenge, and Mark Barretta.
Okay.
And thank you very much for always making time so you can come on air and we help sensitize and educate our people, pass out information. Actually, really want to appreciate you for this. Yeah,
thank you.
What my contribution here is that, the atmosphere is very, very tense in the Republic of Cameroon, and it's also reaching our people back there in Ambazonia. And I think our major priority right now should be, let's try to see how we can educate.
Given Bia's tight grip on power, there are growing concerns that his death could destabilize the country, which is already at war over the southern Cameroons that want its own independence. In Douala, Cameroon's largest city and economic hub, further signs of uncertainty are emerging. Last week, the city's authorities issued an indefinite curfew, ordering residents to stay indoors after 6 p.m. The curfew, which was imposed without clear explanation, has only fueled suspicions that the government is bracing for a major announcement. Observers have noted that this curfew, coupled with the increased military presence in Yaoundé, is likely part of an orchestrated plan to ensure that Bia's body can be returned home without incident. This is a developing story, and ABS will continue to monitor developments as they unfold. The coming days will be crucial in determining the future of Cameroon, as the country now stands on the precipice of a new and uncertain chapter.
These are the type of people that are bringing into power. So we should be very, very careful and then focus on how we can, sensitize our people for their safety.
All right.
Guiding them to keep it coming back closer home.
All right, comrade. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
Let me commend my comrade, Barrister Lisinge. I think if he were preaching in this lane, could have been part today because his language in the past was not like today. So, Mr. Lisinge, thank you very much. I think you realize where you stand, where your placenta was buried. So, welcome back.
All right, thank you, comrade. Thank you. That said, unfortunately, we cannot take any more calls. Have to get out of here right away for some meetings. Barrister Lisenge, 1 minute to round up. I will call it a night, sir.
Yeah, I
You
want
hear
to
the
tell
last
the last
caller
caller.
giving you
I
accolades
want to
for
tell the last caller.
getting
Listen,
born
I
again,
started
politically
in,
born
I
again here a
started,
little bit.
listen, the last caller, I've never changed. I started doing what I was doing when I was a boy. I've never changed. I've never belonged to any political party in my life. I've been doing what I'm doing. But I am a lawyer. I'm being regular. There are certain things I cannot do. There are certain groups I cannot join. You see what? They have arrested some people because I don't join people I don't know. So sometimes, if you want to look something, look at it in the whole package. Don't look at whatever. I've never changed all my life. I've been fighting for the people of British Cameroon. But I have to be sure before I join a group because if they make the mistake and part there, I'm a professional person, I might fall there. I might say this, I call the Cameroons because it is my coin, it's not historical because I believe there is two Cameroons at the moment. Military takeover will be a mistake. The military in Cameroon, they are not patriotic. They have built the military that is still the same Paul Biya's regime. And I believe we are united, we have more in common. Unity doesn't mean we should be 100%. People who can sit have difference of opinion. When they sit like on Chris Arnold's platform, we talk. I believe those are people who are genuine. People who cannot sit and talk with each other, they are the problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that round of Conrad Summer. 1 minute quickly.
Let me say hi to Comrade Singe and his change of position. Welcome home. Now to our brothers in Ground Zero. Me, I call upon Una for Ground Zero. Say the stakes them be too high. Everybody must be very careful because the days ahead, they know they look that very much good. Anybody do for Ground Zero, buy at least Gary and corn or goods the way you know so they never rotten. You keep them for house because the days ahead they're not fine. Make una be prepared before una will be taken unaware. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I appreciate both of you joining me tonight to make this to happen. I look forward, ladies and gentlemen, to coming back on Monday, whatever developments that we have. I will bring them to you on Monday. In the meantime, you guys remain safe and strong and have a great weekend out there tonight. God bless you all. Good evening.